I just remember when we speak, to try to, speak into the mic and we just see. All right, so welcome. Welcome. This is Tuesday, July the 18th. Can you believe we are past halfway through this month? It seems like July just came in and it's almost through. But I'm so happy that we have made it to the 4th week of this Bible study on anxiety. And we really appreciate Pastor Floyd and his wife and Barbara for facilitating this for us. So tonight we're expecting just to close this out and then have a celebration. We have a few certificates to give out. And so we're just excited about being here. We welcome our communities. Jamie hasn't missed a Bible study since we started. Now 12 weeks ago, we did 8 weeks, now 4 weeks. She hasn't missed one. So we really thank you. This is, well, we know, but some folks, can't walk right down the street. So we appreciate you coming in. And we're just gonna have a good time tonight. We're just gonna take a moment and ground ourselves. It's been a really good day here. A lot of activities, a lot of things going on. We're excited about the growth and expanding into the community and the reception of the community to what we're doing here. So we just give thanks on this evening. I know we're tired, it's hot, but that's the summertime. Yeah, it's the summertime. So for those of you that are watching, if you're joining us via YouTube, would you just hit the subscribe button, that little bell, and then hit like, and then share. Share this with someone on your social media feed. Let them know that we're here. If you're watching the recording after tonight, do likewise. Let others know. We're going to be doing another study. We'll share more about that with you and who the facilitator will be, but we're going to keep this going because we're here to partner with, to be a blessing to the community and to create a space where the community can grow spiritually in whatever way that they understand the God within them. And so we just appreciate being able to share this space. So let us just bow our heads for a moment and just release the hustle and bustle of this day. Just enjoy the heat, the beauty of summer, the beauty of the long days, the sunshine, and even the rain. We give thanks with a grateful heart to the divine God that ordered this universe in such a way that we are able to experience the seasons in all their beauty and majesty. We thank you now for this study as we gather in this safe and sacred space, that this study will culminate what we've learned, and that when we leave here tonight, we'll be equipped with those tools that we need to just be a little better at dealing with the anxiety that's in our lives. We just bless those that are here, those that will be coming in. We bless this community. We speak life and life more abundantly over every household, over these streets that are ordered in peace. And we just thank God for the divine for just blessing us to be able to be here. Bless the facilitators, that you will speak through them, grant them clarity of thought and mind as we share together in this space. Ashe and Amen.
Hello, how you doing? How's everybody? First I just want to say thank God for Lady Brill. That was hard for me to say because I'm so used to calling her auntie.
That's fine, I'm not too.
So this Lady Brill thing is new to me. I'm trying.
That's fine.
I'm trying. But this Bible study was about anxiety and not play. And for the past couple of weeks, we've been having a discussion, and that's cool. But I want us for the second day to look at the text. Your hand in my hand. That's Luke 12 and 22. Now, I promise I'm not going to preach, but
Go on, let's read.
nah, because there was I used to pastor a church, and on Bible study, I used to have this rule. You can ask any question, no question. No question is off the chain. I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. But guess what? You may not get that answer. You may have to talk to the Spirit, not to me. So we're going to start off. Jesus said to his disciples, therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, your body, or what you will wear. Now, I did this last week, but this one the disciples at this point, maybe thinking the type of peasants, maybe just trying to get along in life, and they found it Jesus guy. But what most people don't know is that most disciples were fishermen. And fishermen at this time meant money. They made a lot of money. So you don't tell a poor man, don't worry about what you're going to eat, because he don't care. He's already poor. What you telling you? But tell his disciples, don't worry what you eat, what you drink, what's on your body, what you wear. That's important. They want to know that. And one thing that's important here is that he says, don't worry about your life. That's a big one. Wait a second, don't worry about your life. Who are you? Who are you to tell me this? I'm just speaking on behalf of the disciples. Like, I'm trying to get a clue. I'm thinking while I'm talking to you. Why? What do you say? Don't concern about your life, what you would eat, what you would wear. Why is that a big no for Jesus? Like, don't worry about that. I got it. And he doesn't say that he has it. He doesn't say that. Nowhere in this text does he say that he has Jesus. Jesus has it. But in verse 23, for life is more than food, and the body is more than clothes. Now I can speak about this because I got a little experience on food, as you can tell, and you can see. Just to be honest with you, I recently changed my diet. It's more fruit and vegetables now. Me and my wife got it just sitting in the refrigerator. We're about to give it to so it's just sitting there. I'm amazed that Jesus would tell them, don't worry about the food. And at this time, I was thinking about us today and the time in Jesus' time, they didn't worry about food like we worry about food. In Jesus' time, there was no McDonald's. There was no Wendy's. There was no Cheddar. There was no KFC. There was no Popeye. So people ate whatever came from the ground or the ocean. And that's what they ate. And they were happy with it. And I think this message is a little bit different today because today we have so many choices. Like today, our food, most of us, whether we know it or not, most of our food comes from a factory. It doesn't come from, and it comes from a factory. It's processed. Even the meat we eat is processed. Down to what we drink, what we put in our body, it's all processed. It's all put through a process so it can last long, so it can have longer shelf life. In Jesus' day, they didn't have to worry about this. They drunk whatever. They made the wine from the grapes. It was fresh. They drunk it. They ate the fish. It was good. Now, it also says for the body and clothing. Now, I got to be honest with you. My wife will testify. I'm a clothes whore. Before my stroke, it wasn't, I always had them. Ask my wife, I always had on polo or True Religion. That's all I would wear. Now I can't get my body into it. And I laugh because these pair of pants I got on, a pair of pants. They're no different from True Religion. But I got them from a cheap place. I think I paid like $15 for these pants. And I thank God for them. Because usually I used to pay like 70 or 80. But here's Jesus telling them not to worry about what you eat, about what you put on your body. I don't want to just hear myself keep talking. So, how do you feel about food? Question. How do you feel about food? Read. Me too. Me too. It's a family trend. It's a family trend. What about you? Well, wait a second. I used to think that, but the body can go without food for 3 days. It can't go without water for that long period. But the body actually can go without food 3 days. Let me tell you what I'm doing. I normally have what's called an earthquake with my wife. I normally have my breakfast, but what I've been doing was I ain't telling my wife I was gonna do, but I just did it anyway. She gives me a little Lucerne in the morning, and I drink that. And I don't eat nothing until 12 o'clock. Why do I do that? Because the body can go a long time without. And I'm fat. There's no way I'm gonna get better unless I lose this weight. There's no way. I'm gonna stay the same way if I stay this way. If I stay with what I've been doing, I'm be in the same position. Your weight has a lot to do with your body chemistry and your body makeup, and what you can tolerate and what you can. So I've been trying. Food is hard, but I'm trying. I wanted to go down. I thought it was funny. Verse 24 says, "Consider ravens. They neither sow nor reap. They neither store in a barn, yet God feeds them." So I thought about it. And then I thought about a way we could think about that. Because we live in the bricks. Rarely do you see a raven. Most of the time you see pigeons. A sparrow. Honestly, the pigeons and sparrows eat anything we drop on the ground. Think about it. Always is their provision. So what God is saying is that just because you don't have doesn't mean I won't provide. And that's hard if you think about it. Because we're taught at a very young age that you gotta survive. You gotta eat, you gotta maintain, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I'm amazed that we live in the bricks. And you know what? You know who lives in the bricks with us? Don't have a problem eating nothing? A rat. They eat anything and everything. And guess what? They got shelter. When it rains, they got somewhere to put their head. And so, but God is saying that if He take care of that dang rat, why won't He take care of me? And so, granted, this is not for everybody. I'll make this clear. Jesus said to the disciples, don't worry. Everybody is not a disciple. And to be a disciple, you don't have to be rich. You don't have to be poor. You don't have to have the knowledge of. You just have to believe and follow. That's it. That's all. That's the qualification. Believe, follow. It's really easy. Because if then, verse 26, if then you are not able to do the small things, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the rest. We are so quick to worry about the small things in life. Actually, they seem big to us. They really do. If we're really honest with each other, they seem really big to us. They seem like there's no way to get over it. I'm trying to form a question here. Give me a small thing in your life that you're trying to get over. That it may not seem small to you, may seem big, but it's small to God. Yeah.
Right now, I'm trying to build my credit. So Finger Hub gave me a $400 credit limit. So I ordered a laptop and a projector screen. What is it? I paid it off, y'all. There you go. Yeah. The grandfather is building again. There you go, y'all. Yeah. There you go.
Look a little pretty, but, you know. Okay.
The question was, that things, it's a little thing, but name something that we're trying to do.
Trying to overcome.
And, but I think that's powerful, because we don't really look at credit, it's kind of like, we deny it or something. And then we like, wait, what do you mean my credit not? I never, but that's also a negative against us, because it's certain things to don't. So I think that is something, and I think you can answer that. So you said it's too big to us, but it's really God, right? But so that's how it was. Okay, that is. It's from the school. It really is. It really is. I'll make something to keep it down. You just gotta take this stuff on. I'll have to know. I don't want to be, I said, yeah, you get not anything that. You should make this work, right? Here, I'm not. Which is a good thing. Right.
I mean, I'm gonna give you this, like, go down, the one on, get a land,
Dinner.
get a land, not rent it, does not report to the credit bureau,
Oh, no.
but those people do. Get a land, maybe $200. Tell you want to put on credit. They're gonna say, oh, no, get this federal. No, no, no. But,
You said no.
yeah, just get the land, pay it on time, pay the monthly payment, but then pay it off early. And that will boost your credit score, it'll take it up. Downtown North, some little fun, like, I think it's Bush Brothers. It's been years since- Yeah, it's been years since I've been in. But Bob's isn't like the ones that know, a little bit more mama, that's me about the credit. Mhm.
Remember, you have to get some money.
Yeah, we are,
You can't get
oh,
every-
Oh, I know. But it doesn't pick up, you know, through the town, when people want to, they don't really give up there.
Please, thank you.
Yeah. The thing you're that, talking about, so you can add any kind of the right to buy work. You can't add it.
can you?
If you are not able to support.
I'm sorry. If then you are not able to do so small a thing as that, why do you worry about the rest? If you can't do something so small, why do you worry about the rest? Right.
That's true. How you doing? Let's go to verse 27. What does that read?
I don't read it in a mic, so those that are listening can hear it. We're on Luke 12. I'm at verse 27. Consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. Yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not clothed like one of these.
That's a weird verse. Is how does that apply to us? What can we think about? I'm gonna ask a question before I give my dang answer. What can we think about that verse? Think about that verse. How does it apply to us?
So in the book, it's in you. But I think it was.
No, I think I could be wrong. Yeah, I think you just using an example that really just grow without worry of, and they're dressed and God keeps them up. Let me explain it to you in a way that I can understand it. That makes sense to me. A rose in the concrete. Now, I've seen them sprout up before. I've seen them sprout out. And what happens is they're beautiful. They don't need you to do nothing. All it does, it takes the rain and the air, and it works. That's the same way God wants to work with you. Just work on the spirit man, and he'll take care of the natural. That's a little bit easier said than done, but it's the truth. If you work on your spirit, God will handle the natural. Just real quick, I know I testified to this last week, but I can't say this enough. I had a stroke 4 years ago, and the income in my house has been one paycheck for 4 years. And my refrigerator today is full. My truck, our truck, is a 2019, 2023, 2019 Ford Explorer. We chilling. With all our heartaches, with all our ups and downs, God is taking care of us. And it's hard. We have our hard days, but God has been real good to us. Real good to us. So I just want to leave that in your spirit. God will take care of you. I know life can hit you hard. I know life can be annoying sometimes. And you may ask the question, why am I alive? Why am I going through this? Why has this hurt me so bad? But if you are steady and just focus on God and not your problem, focus on your situation, not focus on your situation, but focus on the God who can deliver you from your situation. It can be better, much better. Yeah.
My question is in verse 27, consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. So they're not doing anything, they're just there, they're growing, they're going through a natural process, right? The air, the rain, just natural process. Yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not clothed like one of these. What does that mean?
I mean, just to explain to you, Solomon was considered very rich and much splendor, and that flower is just as good as Solomon, meaning that with all the things Solomon had, it didn't mean nothing without God. Next verse, we want to read.
28, but if God so clothes the grass of the field, which is alive today and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, you of little faith?
That verse, read it one more time.
28, but if God so clothes the grass of the field, which is alive today and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, you of little faith?
So God takes what the verse is saying, God takes care of everything. As crazy as it sounds, God does. And if he can handle the small stuff, you don't put it this way, everything is small stuff to God. How do I put it? We think cancer is big, heartache is big, disappointment is big, but it's small stuff to God. And he can handle it. I want to go down to the last verse. Yeah.
It's
I wanna
small
talk
to us, but it's big to our family members and our loved ones.
It's big to them. But if you think about it, still small. And maybe I'm not saying it right, or maybe not with the right attitude, but what we think is impossible, God said it's possible. Put it this way, they told me I would never walk. Don't you see me walking out of this place every week? They told me I would never walk. That my wife should put me away in the nursing home, and that's it.
I'll bring you back over there, right? The God,
Oh,
that's not like the yard.
that name pop.
This is the daughter. Uh-huh. With the yard. That's his daughter. Come on, sweetie. Harvey, you wanna come? Yeah, uncle. Everybody come in. Come in. Come in. Yeah, she's staying with us for the minutes. Come in, who's that? Come in. Dr. Come here. Okay, you want to bring her back with me? Then you like that.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, let's go to the. Read that for me.
Amen. That's exactly what it's about.
Amen to that.
Do not keep seeking what you are to eat and what you are to drink, and do not keep working. It's like you're repeating yourself,
Yeah.
which is much of what we have to do in life. Even for ourselves, it's not just for us. We need to hear it again and again and again and again, even a promise. Some people need to be reaffirmed. A promise has to be spoken again. 30,
A little bit more practical. I think sometimes if you, you want to say something, okay, that's it.
God loves us, and He can do whatever He can for us.
I admire it.
An island,
wisdom,
Yeah.
I agree. Right. We all.
You wanna say something, Harvey? You gotta speak to the mic. Think about it.
All right. What Jesus does in this text, he repeats himself over and over. He says the same thing again and again and again. Don't worry, don't worry. Why is this so important to you? He had these disciples, these men who he wanted to take on this journey, and he needed their focus. He needed them to be ready, willing, and able to do what thus saith the Lord. And if they worried, it would defeat the purpose of what was going on. Now can we go to last verse? Right.
31, instead seek his kingdom and these things will be given to you as well.
To seek his kingdom. Yeah. This part is a little controversial for some. When you say his kingdom, church folk normally say, oh, heaven. when we get to heaven, everything will be all right. No, no, no. Jesus wasn't talking about going somewhere. He wasn't talking about let's fly on up. He said right now in the here and now, not in a distant place. And may I suggest to you that kingdom is a consciousness. It's a state of being. Sandra, Lady Brito can sit here right now and be in the kingdom and we not be with her. Because our mind state can be there. And in our head space, we can't comprehend it. Like what's going on. But it's accessible. What Jesus' ministry was, it was accessible to all. It wasn't, it didn't matter if you were Greek or Gentile in the words of Jesus. And let me put it so you understand it. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, rich or poor, you have access to it. You have access to this idea of kingdom, but it's all in your mind. It's your mindset. Not all in your mind, but it's how you interact with your environment. If you interact in a kingdom environment, in a kingdom way towards your environment, you'll get kingdom back. Some of us are waiting to go to heaven. But I have a theology that's a little bit different. I used to preach all the time. I'm not waiting to go to heaven. Heaven's already here. I got it. I got everything I need right here. But you know what gets in the way of that? You get in the way of your blessing. You are the biggest distraction. We talk about other people this and that, but they don't mean nothing. It's you. It's you. You that one. Jesus telling them not to worry. You know why? Because it was in their head that they needed money to support their family. How was I going to do this? How was I going to do that? It's in your head. Stop worrying about the small stuff. God's got it. God's got it. I'm going to open the floor to any questions or anything right now.
Text. Jesus uses the word, why do you keep seeking? That we keep. And I think it's a reminder for us that we're not perfect. It's a process to get to that state of mind that we're talking about. Because we do have a tendency to put something down, we don't pick it back up, and before you know, we don't pick it back up. We either put it in our pocket or we just put it in another spot. It's still the same thing. It's still a pen, right? But it's that pen that it don't write right, but sometimes it do. I got it from someplace. So we keep doing things, and instead of worrying, see. For me, that's what always comes out with this text. Instead of worrying, don't keep worrying. Not that you won't, but you gotta realize some way of right. Let me just give this to God and stop worrying about it and seek his kingdom. And for me, how I started seeking the kingdom was to read the word. I may not be able to tell you exactly where to find it at, but I know the scripture. I know it in my heart. So I think that's one way that we seek his kingdom. I think that's important to bring out how we seek the kingdom. We tell them instead speak, right? So I think there's the teaching that could, or conversation at least that can happen around what it means to seek his kingdom.
Anybody else? Well, let's have that conversation. What does it mean to seek? How do you seek God? Tell me. Right? That's how you do it? Okay.
I don't think you can seek God. It's just by having blind faith,
Why has faith gotta be blind?
because you can't see God.
But why does faith have to be blind? Tell me why. Is faith not rational? Or is it irrational?
They can be rational and they can be irrational.
That's a good answer. But in my life, in my walk, I find that the only way I deal with it, like, is with rational faith. Like, if I didn't, I remember when I was in Tesla rehab, and they were trying to get me to walk. And I kept telling the guy, I'm gonna walk. And I remember some of the physical therapists didn't want to work with me. Because I was very determined. I said, I'm gonna jog again one day. And they was like, this guy, he's not gonna do it. Until I found a therapist who believed as crazy as me that I would do it again and would stand by me and would help me. That's the only way I got it. So faith sometimes has to be a little bit irrational to the other person, but rational to you. It seems crazy to think that you can do what they say you can't do.
Have to be determined to do it.
Yeah.
And willing and able. Willing, determined and willing, I say.
Put it this way, in this country, we have rights and women. Lori and her daughter. They would have never had them in a Jim Crow South. In a 20, 30, 40. Never would have happened. No.
20 to 30.
Yeah,
40.
Lori would have probably been a mom in those days. But
Slavery time.
yeah,
Slavery time.
yeah,
Right. Me too. Me too.
yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't born during that time either. I'm an 80s baby. Now I was born 1982. And I don't understand slavery to this day. I really don't understand slavery to this day.
I'm not trying to tell you I understand it, but I know somewhere in the slavery time,
We had it.
somebody had to believe that one day this wasn't going to be the norm.
Right.
Somebody had to believe that one day we were going to do better.
Uh-huh.
And our forefathers and our foreparents.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank God for them. You have to believe when it seems impossible. Imagine a slave. It would seem impossible that a black man was sitting in the White House that wasn't cooking or cleaning for somebody else. Think about that. For 1 minute. Think about that. So we've come a long way in this country, and we got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Before we considered equal. Now we need economic justice. But as usual, I've gotten off subject. So pray for me. My wife posed a question. I want us to go around. What does seeking God mean for you and your personal journey?
I think I heard some answers when I was going in the bathroom. Like I said, for me, it meant one, learning scripture and learning how to get comfortable in talking to God by myself, and talking out loud to God and having a conversation and being still, which is like we need to learn a little more about meditation. That's what I'm about.
I pray.
I meditate. That's how we started going, Mom used to make us meditate at night before we go to bed. And I believe. Because I've been in multiple situations that God showed me faith. without telling you. But it's a belief system.
Yeah.
They had cut the grass today.
Well, for me, I think we all had gratitude, for the life of living, another life. I go to programs during the day. I don't want to treat like I used to. I don't do drugs no more, none of that. I got a 14-year-old son to think about. I just lost my mother, but it's okay. I'm still breathing. I just can't get over it. Yeah, but it's all right. So God, He know what He doing. Things happen for a reason. You stop there where you're surrounded and believe in God. Yourself. Don't focus on yourself. In Jesus.
Sorry to hear about mom. I think one of the ways that I would say communion, I want to keep God, or perhaps it is the more I get to know me, the more I get to know God. So through meditation, through just discovering myself, and as Paul said, I see God all around me. You know, I can't look at a sky or sunset and not see God, or look at the grass and flowers, trees, and even like a little baby that it's just a touch of God. Sometimes I think God whispers to us, but He breathes on us in moments like that. That says, "This is how you get to know me." In the innocence of this little one who just walks in your midst, folks that they don't know, but someone somehow planted a seed within that child. Yeah, and it's growing. So, yeah, I just think, and then in fellowship, in community like this, I think God manifests, or divine manifests in our collective. I truly believe in that verse that says, "With two or three are gathered together in my name." I think there's something exponential about the presence, the experienced presence of God in fellowship.
I'll just tell you about my thinking. I do see God in everything. And my little girl and my son. But I gotta be thankful. 4 years ago, I cursed God out. Told him where he'd go and how he would get there, real quick. And for the first time in my life, my uncle used to say, "You preach it, but do you believe it?" And I used to say all the time to the pulpit, sometimes you gotta have an argument with God. And you really do. I believe God came on me more when I yelled at him. I put it this way. I know in the Bible we don't see that too much, but I think David did it. If you really read the Psalm, David yelled it. He told God what he's going to have to get to. It was time. And I can understand. I can understand Moses' frustration at the rock. Come on, God. What's this riddle? Why has everything got to be a riddle? Why can't you just tell me? And sometimes God hurts. He hurts. He hurts real bad. But With my grandparents, I learned this. My grandma, she was a hard lady, but she heard it. Not she heard it, but she sometimes heard us that we would be better, that we will be stronger, that we will be greater than what it was. And so I understand God a little bit now, a little bit more. Still a little frustrated with him, but we on a cool kind of thing on. I just want to say at the end of it, this anxiety thing, my wife brought the point out real good. Seek God. You may be hurting, you may be bleeding, you're just tired of it. Seek God. Seek God in everything you do, and He will reward you. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Floyd. It's okay, just give a, hot fingers, yeah, whatever. Clap, Floyd. This has been a wonderful, 4 weeks. And, again, I just appreciate you for fulfilling this lesson. So, just real quick, anybody have a takeaway? Something that either this week, the last week, or before, a takeaway? Something that,
The takeaway is from what she said. Now, I want to say what she said.
okay,
The takeaway for me is we were talking about seeking God. And she didn't make any of the things that we typically say. She said that she don't do drugs no more. She goes to the program. And I think part of she takes her medication. She has a relationship with her son. You guys, you can't see how her face lights up when she talks about her son. And I think that is part of the coming in to know God, right? What I used to do, I don't do it no more. And she said it with just as much conviction as the little girl that sat here and said that she loved Jesus and that God will do anything.
Right.
God will do anything. You have to believe, she said.
Right.
So those are my.
that was powerful. And I think maybe, did you want to give a takeaway? No.
No, good.
I think that sums it up maybe for all of us. What you shared, Sister Barbara. And as we close, again, we want to thank our community, those watching us, that followed us virtually on YouTube and social media. Remember to hit the subscribe button, the like and the share. Tell somebody about us. If you're in the greater North New Jersey area, stop in and see us. I'm always so happy to see my daughter Lori and granddaughter Journey, who is my office assistant, here with me, supporting me. Lori is always my church daughter. I mean, they all grew up in church, but she's been the one that has stayed. And when I need help, boots on the ground, Lori's always there. So I appreciate that. So as we close, we do have some presentations that I would like to do. And we'd like to just acknowledge the journey for those that come through. And I want to first acknowledge Sister Jessica.
Thank you.
Jessica, if you would stand, Lori, if you could get my phone, or Journey, if you could get my phone, I had to put on the charger for a moment and take some pictures. It's on the charger against the wall over here. So let me see where the best place to stand. Come over. All right, that's good. So on behalf of these studies are presented by Triumph School of Integral Studies, which is a ministry of Triumph the Church of the New Age. And if you would just take pictures for me, Jeremy, we'll open up the camera for you. Okay, here we go. You stand over there and you get a couple of shots and you come on with it. So the certificate says, Triumph School of Integral Studies, and then the scripture, consider the ravens. They do not sow or reap, They have no storeroom or barn, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable you are than birds. Luke 12:24 NIV. Certificate of completion is hereby awarded to Jessica Ham for successfully completing the Community Bible Study 4-week course with Pastor Floyd Brown Jr. and First Lady Barbara Brown, a positive approach to living with anxiety, awarded July 18th, 2023. And where's my pen so I can sign?
Dominique was there.
And we want to take a picture with me and Jessica getting her award. Come over, I want the teacher to be in. Get a little closer, a little closer. Get a little closer. Okay, can you see this certificate? Here, this is yours. So you hold your certificate now. Okay. All right, so get your certificate in here so you can see your.
Thank you.
Okay, get Jessica's phone and
Then take the picture.
yeah, but,
Okay, so wait, we gotta get on
here, Jessica.
Yeah.
All right.
You got it.
So you want to be able to see her certificate. Congratulations.
Thank you. And Dominique was there.
All right. Okay, so y'all stay and hold the cameras, hold the phone. This one is particularly touching for me because I didn't know, 6 months ago, I didn't know this young lady. I didn't know that she existed. I didn't know her story. I didn't know her smile. I didn't know her presence and her spirit. And she walked in here one day and she's been coming ever since. So we've had now 12 weeks of Bible study and she has not missed 1 week. And she has shared with us some of her pains, her triumphs, what she's been through, the love of her life, her son, and now just tonight, the passing of her mom. But she has a beautiful spirit that's rooted in faith. And without a doubt, I know that she knows the Lord and she loves the Lord. So Sister Jamie, would you come on? Yeah. Yeah, let's just cheer her as she's coming. Let's just applaud her. Can we celebrate Sister Jamie? Can we celebrate her? Let's celebrate her. Jamie. Every step is meaningful. Right? It's another step on your journey. So let me read this. Triumph School of Integral Study. Consider the ravens. They do not sow or reap. They have no storeroom or barn, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable you are than birds. Luke 12:24 NIV. Certificate of completion is hereby awarded to Jamie Brewer for successfully completing the Community Bible Study 4-week course with Pastor Floyd Brown Jr. and First Lady Barbara Brown on a positive approach to living with anxiety. Reverend Lady Mother Sandra Addison Brito, spiritual leader, awarded July 18th, 2023. Where's my pen again? Is that black? It gives me great pleasure to present this to you. And I want to just bless you as you continue to grow and as you become all that you were birthed to be. Let's get some pictures. You want to turn this around so the camera can catch the certificate?
Yeah, please. Thank you so much.
No, it's like aqua this one.
No.
Put it on audio. Oh, oh, yeah. The campaign one, too. I don't remember. Is there any, you got the pictures of my phone? All right, so we have one more presentation. God bless you. Okay, one more presentation. All right, Sister Bob, if you would just come over. Teaching and facilitating any study is a special gift and calling. And it is particularly challenging when we have challenges. And stewardship is one of the callings in ministry. And it is so important, I think, in the tradition of your ancestral line, of your grandparents on both sides, and your parents, and the inheritance that you received for your ministry calling, and for you, Sister Barbara, who stepped into the world of ministry and what it means to be, to minister alongside one called, which means you were called also. I want to just commend the two of you for doing an excellent job in facilitating this study. So on behalf of Triumph School of Integral Studies, consider the ravens. They do not sow or reap. They have no storeroom or barn, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable you are than birds. Luke 12:24. Certificate of appreciation is presented to Pastor Floyd Brown Jr. and First Lady Barbara Brown, Triumphant Life Ministries, for successfully facilitating Community Bible Study 4-week course, A Positive Approach to Living with Anxiety. Signed, Reverend Lady Mother Sandra Addison Brito, Spiritual Director, July 18th, 2023. And I'll get together and here, get up to that film, holding that. Yeah.
He's like a twin, I bet.
I don't know, did you get it? Yes. Again, I just want to thank everyone. This is so meaningful for me. I appreciate you. I'll announce this week who'll be facilitating the next study, and we keep going on. The children are starting to come in, and more of the community is coming in, and we're building this center in this community for the community. I'm going to end here, and I'm going to let Pastor Floyd and First Lady Barbara close out however you would like.
She wants me to say good night. I want her prayers out because I can't do this. I can't. And I think God put me in this position because He wanted me to know that I can't do this. Before I thought it was just me. But now I know it's us. And I thank God for that.
All hearts and minds clear? Yep. Yes, Lord, we thank you. We thank you for this space, God. We thank you for Lady Mother. I'm like Floyd, Pastor Brown. It's hard to say Lady Mother sometimes because you automatically think of her as our son. But Father God, we thank you for the position that she was in. Lord. We ask you to continue to cover her as things grow and grow, Lord, out of her hands into the hands of the community. And we're grateful for those that have come in. Jessica, we are so grateful for you to come in to help her. And we just pray for everybody that comes to these doors, God, standing outside in front of this building, that they feel the love and know that it is about community. So we thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Amen. And so it is, and so shall it be. Yes. A bag, yeah, I got a bag. Yes.
They cut the grass out there.
Yes,
Remind me of church back in the day.
But they
back in the day, huh? Eh, I hear you,
At least I'm not seeing the new kids.
child.